always hard when you play well and, lose. Is that where you're at right now? Just had a heck of a game.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we last night. Oh, I mean, me personally, it's tough. Obviously, you got to make shots, you got to make layups. In overtime, miss those two layups, which would have definitely helped us. But just overall, I think defensively, I think that's where it's at. And I thought tonight I could have been better. Obviously, when you're playing a good player like Jokic, he's going to find teammates. He's going to create some difficult matchups. But thought we could have done a better job. I could have done a better job at kind of just limiting some of those other guys.
What happened sort of down the stretch of the game and then in overtime where, especially I guess on the offensive end, things fell apart a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just got to continue our pace. I think we got out in transition, make our miss, we'll run up the floor, not settling as much in sets. I thought that's when we were at our best. And I think that, to their credit, I think they slowed us down. I think they took us out of a little bit of our flow, and I think that's when our offense got bogged down.
What you make of the way that Victor played against Jokic both yesterday and tonight, just kind of sticking with him, giving him a hard time?
Yeah, I mean, I think, Victor's been, phenomenal all season. I think he, rose to the occasion, obviously playing against multi-time MVP, in Jokic, and, last night, tonight, doing it on both ends of the floor, he's been amazing.
To beat Denver and then force overtime when he's playing overtime game against them. Talk about that development for that team, playing against one of the top teams in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, I think, we have a lot of belief in our locker room, and, every night we have a, expectation to win. So I think for us, there's no moral victory. There's no solace in splitting, a back-to-back. I think for us, we felt that both games were winnable. We felt like we put ourselves in position to win both, and it's unfortunate that, we let go of the rope a little bit there in the fourth and in overtime. So just something to watch, for tomorrow, and then, regroup in Chicago.
Bad timing with a feature type question on a night like this, but you and Julian are on the stationary bike so much when you're not in the game. Have you always done that, or is that what do you get out of it? Obviously, staying warm.
Yeah, you caught me off guard with that one. So that started during right after the bubble. Obviously, when there was no fans in the arenas, there was a lot of space between chairs during the games, and back then you could check out of a game. A trainer or somebody could come work on you on the bench. You could stretch. It could be on an RX pad. There wasn't really any regulation of what was going on there, so you could always stay loose. Then when we brought fans back, I forgot how close the seats were on the bench. Right, it wasn't quite as much space. So the biggest thing I try to do on the bike is just to stay loose. You never know. Obviously, with our team, we have a lot of depth. Different guys may get it going, whether it's Keldon, Julian, Jeremy, Devin, whoever. So in those moments where your rotation is different or things like that, you want to just stay loose, make sure you're ready to go when you check back in.
You just try to stay focused on the action on the court, or does it get kind of busy with all the distractions?
No, unfortunately, I've been doing it for a few years now, so it's pretty easy to block out everything but the game. But I think the biggest thing is keeping that pace. We talk about starting games. We talk about our second unit coming in, keeping that same energy. Guys just being ready when they check in. So to each their own in terms of what they need to do that. But for me, I always try to just stay on the bike, and make sure I'm loose, make sure I'm ready to go, because you could check back in, get a wide open catch and shoot three, or be in transition or whatever it may be. So just want to stay ready.
Another four-game roader coming up here. What's the approach? Same as the Christmas trip?
Hopefully a little bit better than the Christmas trip. I think for us, like I said, we have an expectation, to go in and win every single game. I think it's just putting together that 48 minutes, not being surprised when it's a close game at the end, and just knowing that it just comes down to a few possessions. Last night we were able to get those few possessions and win the game. Tonight we let a few of those possessions go, but that's going to be our reality, especially with the teams that we're playing, whether it's on the road or at home, for us to just take that next step.
Looks like Trey's finally 100% after the ankle and shoulder injuries. What have you seen from him lately?
Trey's been great. I think just his ability to, pick up the other team's point guard, apply pressure. I think offensively, another, ball handler who's able to get to the paint, he's able to find guys, just coming up with steals, extra plays for us. He's been great in that regard.